Hello, everyone. Glad to be back. Hey, Freek, you're muted right now, so you can unmute your microphone yourself,
Yes.
right? Hey,
Hi.
hey, Freek.
Hey,
Hello,
Maria.
everyone. It's good to be here. We're going to do another live stream, and I've got my colleague Freek with me here. We're going to tackle a piece of software development that's maybe sometimes overlooked when we're talking about development, but actually is very important. We're going to start out with discussing a problem and really thinking about it and having a little conversation, trying to come up with the best way to actually solve the problem before writing any code. But before doing that, I do want to quickly recap what we covered last time, Freek. I think you were there as well on the stream you were watching, right?
Yeah, for most of the time.
Okay. I've got my diagram here, and let me zoom in properly. We're building some kind of experience-like system on Spatie, on our Spatie website, that whenever a user submits a pull request that gets merged or some other kinds of things happen, we want to reward you with some experience points that can lead to achievements being unlocked, badges, nice kinds of rewards after completing a course and stuff like that. And maybe if you followed the last stream, you remember this diagram. It has changed a little bit, and Freek, I'm going to quickly walk you through it as well. I've copied some cards just to have a very linear flow for every kind of scenario that's possible. And so you'll see that these orange cards that are events, because we're building an event-sourced system here, almost every flow here will always end with two events: experience being earned and sometimes an achievement being unlocked. There are several triggers to do that. For example, there's pull requests being merged that come from some kind of GitHub webhook. There's also videos being watched. If you've bought one of our courses, you can, every time you watch a video, you will earn some experience. And there might be some achievements if you've watched X amount of videos, stuff like that. More important is a course being completed. So every video being watched, you'll also get you get an achievement, some kind of badge, I imagine, but also some kind of document, right, Freek, to tell people that they've actually finished the course and they're now an expert in whatever the course was teaching. We do already have quite a lot of courses online.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that document kind of thing. Yeah, we got that from. We didn't invent it ourselves. There are other people doing that already. Like I think his name is Kenzie Dots, who has a couple of JavaScript-based courses. And yeah, I see every few days on Twitter, I see some people tweeting, "Hey, I got like these certificates that I just completed this," and it's like a good moment. Yeah, I'd like to have that too.
Yeah, definitely. It's something just nice to have and to share. So,
yeah.
Some other kinds of flows is when you earn experience themselves, it can also lead to achievements being unlocked. For example, if you've gotten 100 experience points or thousands, or it's just a way to reward you for all the progress that you've done within the Spatie universe. Can I call it like that? And finally, another flow that's also very important is that we need to have a way for letting people know whenever they have unlocked an achievement, because you might not be on the Spatie website when it happens, when a pull request gets merged, for example. And what I want to focus on today was this flow, right? We identified this as something that we want to start with, and we can build those other flows in the future. But we really want to reward those people who've completed the courses. And so let me get to the code. Maybe some, I have refactored our code quite a bit since our last live stream. These are the two parts that are important: achievements and experience. Those are the two key players in the application that we're building. Let me quickly summarize the most important changes. If you remember, from the last time we have this business rule that we don't want people to necessarily have a Spatie account. So they can, whenever an event comes in, for example, from GitHub, we also want to reward experience to those people who haven't necessarily registered. So we have some kind of ID that is able to handle both of that. So if you're a registered user, we will keep track of the user ID. But if you're just a guest with an email, we'll also keep track of that. And I've refactored all that logic because I was starting to repeat that in several places. So I refactored that to some kind of value object just to encapsulate all of that. And we're using user experience ID. Couldn't come up with a better name at the time. We're using that in our events, in our commands, just to have all of that detail abstracted away. So that's one thing. And the second, probably...
Brent, I already have a question about this. Does the GitHub API always send you an email? Because this assumes that, right?
I'm assuming that. I haven't actually looked into that. If that's if that's not the case, that's okay. We'll have to maybe extend this implementation, or maybe come up with another solution. So
I think there's like a GitHub user ID, and that's guaranteed to be there. So we could add that later.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. The second most important change are the achievements here, and I'm actually going to do a quick demo. Freek, you haven't seen this yet, so I hope everything works. I've got.
My eyes are as fresh as everybody looking at this. It's like the first time that I'm also going to see this.
I've got my my database opened here, and showing two tables. We've got stored events; those are just the events happening in the aggregates, which are stored, the event sourcing part, and there are user achievements. So this is a table that actually shows. Keeps track of which user has earned which achievement, right? And let's go to our videos page over here. I did prepare a little kind of demo. So this is some dummy data, and we're going to watch this video. Whenever it ends, it will automatically be marked as complete, but we can also do that manually. So let me just go ahead and click it. And refresh the database, and you can see that one event has been stored. So this there's a user that completed a video, right? Makes sense. Let me go to video 2 and also mark it as complete. And now a few things have happened. So the video was marked as complete, but because it was the last video in the series and because all other videos were also watched, there's a new event being triggered saying that the series as a whole has been completed, which in turn resulted in an achievement being unlocked, right? And if we take a look at the user achievements table, that last event is projected in this table, and you can see its title is videos for show me the code completed. This is just some dummy copy. I didn't have much of inspiration to come up with clever titles, but you've watched all the videos in the Show Me the Code course. Okay, so we also kept track of the user ID here and the email. Okay, so that was the little demo. I don't have any interface implementation ready yet. That's really just at the very end of all of this. I really prefer to start with the domain code and test it in isolation before starting to build.
Hey Brent, can we test something? It's an edge case. Sorry.
Yeah.
What happens now if you unmark a video as completed and mark it again? Were you expecting that?
I'm going to stop you right there. Let me open up one of my tests here. Oh yes, look at it. To do. What happens if a user uncompletes a video? I haven't covered that yet, so I'm not going to test it. I'm aware that it still needs to happen. Yeah. Okay. But actually, I do want to know. So let's just let's take a look. Yeah, there will be no new events
for that
here.
Yeah.
And this is still a bug, right? Well, yeah, it's a bug.
Yeah,
probably.
it's a bug because you can.
Yeah.
I think that series completed implies the first time that you completed it, right?
Yeah. So it really depends what we want to do with it, with that flow. We'll probably just prevent it because the achievement has already been earned. So it doesn't really make sense to track any new events here. But good question.
I'm also thinking of the scenario where we have like a video course, somebody completes it, and after that we add some more videos, that he or she could watch.
Yeah.
Then if those videos are watched, we shouldn't send a mail again for that because you all already got
definitely.
a mail for completed.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, there's no new achievement unlocked event. So the achievement actually was only sent once, which is already taken care of. But I agree that we need to fine tune this flow a little more. But that wasn't what I wanted to talk about with you today. I want to talk about these achievements and how I've modeled them as classes for now. And I want to discuss some of the possibilities that we have in designing them. So looking at achievements here, it made sense to me to group them together per type, because every type comes with a little bit of logic attached to it, right? For example, in case of experience, if we look at an experience achievement, there's this matches method, which I probably should rename to something a little more clear. But this is the method that will decide whether the achievement actually matches the requirements for it to be unlocked, right? In case of experience, we've got a previous count and we've got a current count. And so imagine I've got a 50 experience and I earned another 50. Previous count will be 50. The next one, the current count will be 100 because it's 50 added to 50. And this achievement will only trigger whenever a certain requirement is reached. So, and that's configurable because we can have several experience achievements, right? We can have one for 100 experience points, 1,000, and so on. And that's exactly what happens in this unlocker class. Also work in progress when it comes to the names, because I really didn't have a lot of good ideas at the time.
It's okay.
But let's look at these for a moment. Here we have a few achievements that handle experience events, right? So one for 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. I just added some for now. They have a title and they have a description. And also a slug, which is just a basic identifier. You can already feel there's something sketchy maybe going on, and that's what I want to talk about. But first, I want to show you the series achievement as well, because that one is a little different. That's kind of more dynamic, because we can have several series on our Spatie website. And we want an achievement for every kind of every instance of a series, right? And so this one is built a little bit more dynamic. The slug is a fixed key, but also contains the ID of the series, so that we can identify whether an achievement for a specific kind of series has already been triggered for a given user or not. And the title is inserted here as well as in the description. And whether it can, I'll already rename this. This was called matches, the other one, but can be unlocked is maybe a better name. Whether it can be unlocked or not depends on whether the user has completed the series for this achievement, right?
Yeah, okay.
So I was thinking we really need to move, let me get the experience achievement unlocker here. I want to move this in-memory stuff away from being hard-coded. And my first thought was to store it in a database, which added a few more possibilities. We could use the media library to manage our badges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
which seemed like a really good way of handling it. And it would work perfectly for experience and pull request achievements. But because we have this kind of dynamic achievement here, we would have to... We're getting in a little bit of trouble, but there are solutions to that. But I would really like to hear your opinion on the matter. The one solution I could think of is to make a dedicated achievement instance for every series and keep them in sync. So every time a series gets updated, we also update the achievement title for that series. If a series gets added, we automatically add a new achievement for that series. And that seemed like a good idea. And I'm going to stop here and ask for your opinion up until this point.
Well, yeah, my idea was also to have a specific series unlocked per achievements per series, because probably we will have slightly different copy depending on the series. Like, you're an event sourcing master now, or congratulations, you can build large Laravel applications now, and probably the image will be different too. So I think for all intents and purposes, those series completed achievements, they should be separate per series. I think that makes it much more easier to reason about, because they're much more, they're like equals to like the experience achievements. And then you can have this rule, like you can only earn an achievement once. And if we stick with like a sort of hybrid achievement that you can get multiple times, that can go messy. I would make things more the same and have achievements only unlockable once for a user.
I think that's a valid use case, and we can set that rule. I agree. The difficult
and I
part,
also really like it that we store them in the database. It isn't perfectly, it isn't really necessary. I think it could work here if we just keep it somewhere in a config file or somewhere. But if we do it in the database, we have Nova going on spatie.be, then our non-technical colleagues, they can create new achievements and update them as well without us having to do anything.
So what I was thinking, if we go that route, is that we will need some kind of achievement type, which will determine kind of the context data that's required for every achievement. Because in this case, we will need some kind of series ID probably, but in case of an experience achievement, we will need to know the required count. And the pull request is also required count. But so the context data will depend on the type, so it will need some kind of JSON data column to have dynamic fields, right? I think we have a package for that, so
I think
that won't be a problem. But here's where things get a little more complicated. I'm not sure if it's actually going to be a blocker.
Well, what we could also do, and it's a little bit of a hybrid form, because you mentioned that we used the database primarily for that we can use the media library, can add media to stuff. We could do some things hard-coded in the database and some things in the database. So if you want to have like customized conditions of when a achievement can be unlocked, you could just do it in code. I wouldn't mind that at all.
I can imagine there will be some more complex logic that you really don't want to store or try to store in the database and prefer just to hard code depending on the type of the achievement. I think a hybrid way is a good thing. Actually, I don't think I ever told you, Freek. This is completely off topic, but I once I played on a private World of Warcraft server, and I was like an event game master, right? So I made events, and everything for from start to end, like custom quests and stuff like that. It was all done in the database. It was 100% database scripting. So a boss fight, for example, you could write C code, but I couldn't do that. It was like tens of tables that all work together with bit masks in fields and stuff. It was really cool, but
pretty amazing that it's all in the database.
So I do want to avoid putting too much stuff in the database when it's not really necessary. So a hybrid approach could be useful. There's one thing I didn't mention yet, which kind of defeats the purpose for using the media library. Kind of, not really, but in case of our series achievement, right? We want to send some kind of certificate to the user that he or she completed the series. And I was thinking, okay, that's just going to be a media library asset, but that's not the case because we want to enter the username in there. So it's going to be a dynamically generated PDF, probably not added with the media library, I reckon.
I reckon as well.
So the only real use case for using the media library is for badges, I think. I'm not. Do we really need the media library in that case?
No, not really. I think our colleague Willem or the new designer can also just upload SVGs or whatever to the server. So I think it really isn't necessary to use the database if you don't want to.
Yeah, the media library. Right?
The media library. Yeah. There's a comment here by Frank that I found.
He's coming up with our edge cases, right?
Starting learning, I think, about X, halfway through mastering X, you've mastered X. So I could imagine multiple achievements for one series. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think if we just see every achievement as something loose, you can just easily implement that, I think.
Right, but that's going to be, I don't know, it's going to be quite the hassle to keep all of that in sync, because remember, we're going to create an achievement whenever a new series is created. We can do that automatically, that's no problem. But if we're going to create a few of them, well, it's not going to be a real problem.
Yeah, I think in our series we also have like the chapters. And I think you could also have like achievements for, hey, you got until this chapter, you watched all the part 1 videos of the course, stuff like that. Yeah,
there are also some use cases, like maybe you got 80% of the way and you haven't done anything in a month or so. We could Rias is coming up with more. We could hang on a second. We could send a mail or ask people, hey, did you know you're almost done? You almost earned your certificate. You can come back here, click this link, stuff like that. That's just another use case. But let's cover Rias. It's very good to do this on stream because people come up with all kinds of edge cases.
It's like
I don't thought about.
It's like an extra brain in the room for us.
Yeah.
Could an achievement require a previous achievement to be earned?
It's a good question.
I would say it should be possible, I think. But what would be like a concrete example of that, where that would make sense?
Rias can answer that.
Yeah. Because cascading achievements, what Christoph is now saying. I can imagine the appeal, but
the only thing I can think of is, for example, you can only earn the achievement of 100 pull requests if you've earned the one for 50 pull requests, maybe. But that's an easy one because that's a simple counter. So
that's a simple counter. The 100 PRs achievement doesn't need to depend on the 51, just the amount of PRs, I would say.
Yeah. Frank also said something. Maybe you could project series progress and emit events on the progression. and use those to trigger new achievements. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good idea. But if we're going to send an achievement, for example, when you've completed a chapter, it's not necessarily a fixed percentage of the progress. So I reckon there might be cases that this is useful.
Yeah, I think if we're going to send out mails to people that watched the series 80% there, that you want to give them like a little nudge, like, come on, you're almost there, you're almost a master, then you need what Frank suggested here.
I'm going to add, just hang on a second, experience earned. No, it's the video watched event. I'm going to add a new read model here. I'm going to stick it here. It doesn't matter for now. I'm going to call this series progression. Right. This is just a projection of the same event, which is a good thing, and we can maybe make decisions based on that in the future. And this could also be some state in the aggregate root itself. It doesn't have to be a table somewhere in the database.
Brent, we also have our colleague Alex heckling us. You got all achievement.
I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, it will be possible. Yeah, no problem. There are more IDs coming in. I wanted to do some programming as well, but let's go.
Yeah. Okay, let's.
No, but this is interesting. This is
good. Yeah.
I mean, this is what I was talking about. This brainstorm session is really part of software development, especially. I mean, this is even a very simple system, and we're already coming up with lots of edge cases and stuff like that. And I feel that we often forget about that part. If we talk about programming, we think about writing code, but I would say this thinking about the problem and mapping it out in diagrams and stuff like that is equally important, and might even take much more time than actually writing the code. So anyway, that's a side note. So let's continue a little more. Achievement overview page. Yeah, that's already and something we plan on doing. So that's good. I want this one, instead of achievements being tied directly to the course, have watched the course contribute points. Yeah, also possible. That's kind of what we want to do with XP. And Frank is going wild. He's already on his 5th or 6th suggestion. Very good. Multiple courses on a team, and then an achievement for unlocking all for one team. Yeah,
that's a good example.
Yeah. Okay, we need to think about that.
What like Laravel CRUD and in event sourcing, you've both done them. Now you're the big Laravel Meister, something like that.
Yeah. So what if achievements are just events? I think they are events. I'm not sure if that's what you meant, but
they're just in the event stream, right? In the events table, I saw them there. So
okay, good.
Thanks.
So in summary, we're going to store achievements in the database. We're not going to use the media library for now because it seems like overkill. We only ever need one badge for now for every achievement. Some achievements will have some kind of certificate which will require us to use browser shot. And achievements in the database will also have some kind of custom field which we can use to store data depending on the type of achievement. Yeah. I think I can start with that. Yeah.
So you're going to start coding?
I have no clue how far I'll get with it, but yeah, I'm going to do a little more on stream. I really enjoy that. So
okay. I'm going to go away digitally, I'd say, but I'm still following the stream.
Okay.
So if you need an opinion or something,
I'll shout.
Or a joke. No, not for a joke, just for an opinion. Let me know, and then I'll come back.
Okay, great. Thanks, Freek.
All right. Have fun.
Bye. Okay, good. Let's fire up PHP Storm once again. And We're going to start with actually creating a migration here. I think that's a good starting point. Yeah, because we want to manage achievements, and I think of achievements as like really the blueprint for what we want to do. This is something that shouldn't be event sourced. I think these are just static, static entities in the database, and we'll assume that if something changes, we'll be able to handle that pretty well without actually breaking any projections. I did write some stuff on that in the book as well. Okay, let's make a migration. I'm going to do some window management first. Migration. Look at that. Create achievements table. It says, let's have a look. I was already trying some things out with achievements table, but I thought I removed it. So, okay, I'm just going to manually create it. Create achievements table, and let's create achievements table. Achievements. Yeah. Good. We can, for now, remove all of this. Well, we need the timestamps, of course. Laravel will complain if we don't add those. Let's take a look at what we need. We need a slug, a title, and a description. Yeah, okay. Slug, title, and description. And we're also going to need some kind of type, because we're going to refactor all of these to one model class. So yeah, let's add another string type, and we're going to use our enum package, of course, for that. Enums. I'm going to keep this code for now, just as a reference point, but it will be refactored and removed down the line. Enums, and let's call it an achievement type. Extend from our Laravel enum implementation, and let's add them here. Self, and pull request is one of them. Experience, another one, and series is the third one. Okay, and depending on the type, we'll also have a custom field. I'm just going to call it data for now. Yeah, that's good. I think let's make a model. Models. Achievement. Extends model. I don't know if we have something overridden, but I don't think we do. So casts. The type will be cast to achievement type, and data will be, is it array or JSON? I'm actually not sure. Let's try this out. I'm just going to manually seed this data for now. There's not really any point in creating some kind of interface right now, of course. So let's have, just going to copy this achievement seeder. And now I want a representation of all these achievements, these ones. I'm not going to add all of them because that would be too much work for now. Achievement create. We are art migrate and use the IDE helper. Achievement create. Okay, here we go. Slug title description type. and data are the fields we'll need. Copied everything. 100 experience, 100 XP. You've earned 100 XP points. And the type will be achievement type experience. Okay. And data will be experience requires some counter requirements. Which will be 100 in this case, and let's add another one. Thousands. Background noise again. I really don't know what's up with the IDE helper because it's been broken in this project ever since I've been using it, but yeah. Okay. Migrate again. Takes a while. I forgot to add the achievement seeder in the database seeder. Achievement seeder, like that. And okay. Let's look at, yeah, here we are. Achievements. Okay, those are present. And now, before doing anything else, I think in the video seeder, there's a series. Okay. I also want some kind of event listener that creates an achievement whenever a series is created, right? So let's think for a minute. Let's add just simple subscribers over here. Remember that all of this isn't event sourced. The series subscriber. I can make this an observer probably. Observer, okay. Series observer, and I always need to check the syntax for that. Observers, there we go. Okay, it's pretty easy. Created whenever a series is created, we will also create an achievement for that series. Achievement create, which is broken, but it works. This. So slug will be series completed for the ID series. Forgot ID. Series title completed. And let's have you've watched all videos in series title, like so. And this is the achievement type series. And important, the series ID associated with this one is series ID. Okay. Let's now actually register the observer. I'm going to have to look at the documentation again. I think, yes, I prefer to do it like this. Is there a boot method? No. Boot self. I can just do self observe, right? Yeah. And series observer class. Let me just quickly rename this one series achievements observer, just to make it really, really clear what this one is about. Also going to quickly test this because I want to make sure I didn't make any mistakes. A series is also creates achievements. So let's we should series factory, I think. Yeah. And now we need to resolve the achievement for this series. And I do want a proper scope for that. Scope where series ID, but that's in a JSON column, and I don't know how. I don't know on the top, from the top of my head, how it works. So okay, eloquent builder and builder where JSON contains. I have to look it up. I don't know how it works. I'm sorry. It's something with $sign and arrows, but select JSON where classes. Where JSON contains easy data and series ID equals yes. And we need a series here. Series. I think that works. Achievement. Let's just do assert true. Achievement query IDE helper again. It's the wrong one. Query where series ID, where series, of course. I'm going to call this for series because it's a little nicer. For series exists, right? And just to make sure it's false before our change, there is no series that exists here, so never mind. Okay, that's good. Hang on a second. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Good. So we can resolve a achievement for a series, and whenever a series is created, we also create an achievement. So if we rerun our migrations now, I would expect, because we're also seeding some series, that we have some more achievements. Yes. Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Freek. Scared me.
Sorry.
I didn't realize you were still here. Okay, good. This is good. Next thing we want to do is actually resolve the right achievement whenever a series is completed, right? And I do have a test for that, the video completion test over here. Okay, let's quickly walk through this. So we create, I should look at the setup as well. We create a series. We add one video to it and we save it quietly because there were some Vimeo APIs things going on in the background, and I don't think it it was, we can actually already mock all of this. Nope. So it's just a shorthand to make sure we're not doing any API calls. So we're creating 2 videos and attaching them to the series. Okay, that's easy enough. And this test, let's run it to make sure it still works. Yep. Okay, close it with my keyboard. That's better. We create a user, and we complete a video for that user. And complete video, it will keep track of video completions for that user, but it doesn't really matter for what we are building. This is just for keeping the old system working without doing anything with it. We're also going to dispatch the register video completion command, which, let's go to our aggregate root, which will end up over here. And remember, this is the flow I showed at the beginning. That in the interface, right? When you complete a video, it will end up here. We're going to resolve some stuff from the database. If you're interested in whether this is allowed or not, I recommend you watching a video by Greg Young. It's also covered in the book. He says it's fine in some cases, and I think it's also fine in this case. We're going to record a video completed event. That's all easy enough. And then we're going to check whether the user has completed the whole series. And if that's the case, we're going to also register the series completion, which will record a new event, which will check whether an achievement should be unlocked, right? So that's the flow. That's those events you saw. I migrated the database, but that's sort of those 3 steps happening automatically. So we complete the first video in our test. We assert that the user doesn't have the achievement yet, because it's only the first video. We complete another video, and the series consists of 2 videos, and we assert that the user actually has the achievement. And as you can see, that works. Now we're going to break it, because we're going to, we have this series completion achievement unlocker. Yeah, and this one will remember what we had previously. We had this dynamic class, which is now replaced by an actual achievement model in the database. So let's remove this. And let's resolve the correct achievement. We've already made a scope for that. So achievement for series first. And I'm just going to first or fail. I mean, it should never fail here. Because if we end up here, we're sure there's, well, an achievement for, yeah. I'm going to first or fail. If it fails, it means there's some bug somewhere, and we should fix it before going to production. So if the user has the achievement, and I need to change some things here because this is not an object anymore. This is an actual achievement model. And I can keep using this because we were checking whether a user has an achievement based on its slug for now. I'm going to refactor that because we have a model now. We can use Laravel relations, but I don't want to focus on that for now. It should work just fine. Okay, so we're getting some errors here, which is to be expected. What we actually want here is we want to check whether the user has achievement for series, this series first. And we should remember one of the IDs given by, I think, Frank, was that that we can have several achievements for any kind of series. So we'll have to make this a little more complex in the future, but we'll just keep it simple for now, and we can work on it some more at a later point in time. So we have our achievement, and this all works fine again, but we still need to properly check which achievement should be unlocked. So we're going to return an actual achievement here. That's the model we just created. Going to check, we resolve it for the series, check whether the user has an achievement. If it has it already, we're just going to return null, which is why in the example, when I press the button a few times over and over again, there were no new achievements being triggered, because we have this check here in place on whether the user actually already has the achievement or not. So what we do need to do is implement the can be unlocked method here. But this is a model now with which covers all achievements, which isn't really that useful. I mean, if we implement can be unlocked over here, user. And this is going to pose some problems, because depending on the type of achievement, you will need other kinds of input over here. But that's okay. We can work around that. We actually need our state package to do that. To require that one. Require spatie Laravel model states. It's going to be better, and I hope I can do this from the top of my head. Let's have a look. Instead of a simple type, we're going to make it a state class and have a separate implementation for every kind of state in our achievement model. So let's have a base state over here. It's called achievement type as well. I'm going to remove the enum. Extends state. Model states, yeah. Okay, let's make it abstract. And let's have several implementations of it. I'm going to remove this one, don't need it. So we have I'm just going to use the series achievement type for now. I prefer to really have long names just to make things clear. We can extend the achievement type. Okay. And let's just add a pull request type as well as the experience achievement type. It's difficult work for me to. Okay, good. And move those out of the way for now, and actually remove this one. Import like this. Okay, type costable. Yeah, that's good. This will work just fine. Let's. Yeah. Okay. So can be unlocked. We can't implement it here because it will depend on the type. So let's just can be unlocked like so, and it requires a user and returns a Boolean. Okay. So what we'll need to do is type can be unlocked, but what, because our can be unlocked implementations will differ from state to state, what I want to do is just a proper check. Can I solve it differently? I don't think so. I'd refactor this later. So if not type instance of series achievement type, we'll just throw a hard exception for now. Exception, this is not valid. I'll of course provide a proper exception in the future. New import. Okay. Yeah. This is what we want, and we can move this. Move this to here. Okay, so good. If type can be unlocked by the user, we do nothing, otherwise we return the achievement. But now we have to implement can be unlocked, and this is why I kept my old stuff here. Yeah, okay, user has completed. And what I want to do is it the model? Yeah. No, it's on the achievement model. I'll have to pass the series in here as well. Good. Remove this. Be unlocked user. We could just implement this check in this class, actually, now that I think of it. Would that solve any problems? We'll make it easier. Just going to do that. User, if user has achievement, user, no. Can, I already forgot what. If user has completed series. If he didn't complete the series yet, we're going to return null. Yeah, this is better. Okay, good. Now back to our aggregate root. We have our unlock achievement event, and this is it's some crazy stuff here. I'm going to say it's going to be the achievement ID. This is going to be serialized in the database. You don't really want to deal with serializing whole models and stuff like that. So achievement ID, and also properly rename it. Okay, so we have unlock achievement. This is an event. This is an important thing. You want to get this right before actually deploying your application to production. We keep track of the. This is not the event. This is the command, but still important. Actually, can we use? Yeah, let's use the achievement in the command. Why not? This is all happening at runtime, nothing serialized. So that doesn't really matter. Okay, unlock achievement. Back to our command, and we didn't even store. We're going to keep a reference. Achievement ID. Achievement ID will be command achievement ID. Yeah, good. And so what I'm doing here is I'm actually copying the data from the achievement. Remember, achievement itself isn't event sourced. So we do want to make sure we have a copy in it of it in the event, but we also keep a reference. I'm just playing it safe here. We could probably do it like this. And I might even refactor that in the future, but I'm going to keep it like so just for now, just so that we have lots of data available. But let's actually rerun our test, because I think our refactor is done, but I am wrong. Achievement type, the series achievement type class, and I also need to change my achievement seeder still the experience achievement type class. I might even refactor that back to enums now. I want to see my test succeed first. Yes, great, good. Okay, so just in summary, we have we can ignore those types because I'm going to throw them away again. You see how programming is going back and forth quite a lot. I have the achievement stored in the database, and whenever a series is created, we will also create an achievement for it, and we will have to create a migration just to make sure that all existing achievements will also get updated when we deploy this to production. We might actually go for it the easy way. This was the achievement, the series achievement observer. Yeah. We can do it like this. So if achievement for series exists, return. And in our migration, what was it called? Achievements table. Actually, loop over all series. Can I do each? Query each function series save. Migrate again, and I'm going to run our real example once more, just to make sure I have covered everything. Let's have a look. I definitely didn't cover everything. Something completely wrong now here. Revert whatever I did. I'll fix that later. The series achievements, saving, create it. Just make sure everything. Yeah, okay. I will fix that off camera. That's all right. Okay, good. Stored events. There's nothing here. Mark as completed. Okay. Moving on to the second one. Mark as completed. And there we have our achievements, and it's stored. And we actually, we haven't updated the projection yet. I still want to do that. That's user achievements. I also want to keep track of the achievement ID in the user achievements projection achievement ID. Let's have a quick look at the achievements table, because I believe it will be a big integer in this case. Unsigned big integer. I had to use unsigned integer here because user ID was is still an old table. Let's add a foreign key for it as well. Achievements on achievements. Okay. Achievements. Good. And let's go to user achievement projection projector, actually, and store it achievement ID event achievement ID, like this. Great again. Just going to test this. Failed to open. Yes. We have user achievements. I need to move this one a little back in time. Oh no, that's too much. That's not a day, that's a month. A day should be fine. Like so. Yeah, by the way, Adrian, you're right. Let me show that. That's the problem with the previous one. On saving, you don't have an ID. I had to use the saved event, not the saving event. Thanks. It's good to have a second brain in chat. And let's try this one more time. It's going to work now. Mark as completed. Doesn't work. Looking at the wrong table. And video 2 mark as completed. Yeah, looking fine and looking fine. And we also store the achievement ID here. And that's all we needed to know. Show me the code complete. Oh, I should probably wrap these things in quotes. You've watched all videos in Show Me the Code, and that's great. Okay, Freek, come back. I think we're done for now. I don't know.
I'm back.
Hi Freek. Let me do it like this. Hey. I'm going to stop here for today, I think, but I just wanted to check whether you have any remarks. If I did a good enough job, Mister.
If I'm really honest, I wasn't watching the final 15 minutes. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, the creepy uncle was somewhere else.
Yeah, okay. No problem. Okay. You can rewatch it. And but thanks for being here at the start, at least.
Yeah.
Let me just quickly show this one more thing. If you're interested in event sourcing, we've got a course about that. And there's still a launch discount. So make sure to check it out. Event sourcing Laravel. Freek, thank you for joining. Thanks everyone in chat. It was really fun. And we might continue this somewhere in next week or something like that. But thanks and bye-bye.